Well, my next guest is Georgian Banov. He grew up in Bulgaria when it was communist. He became a rock musician, and then he found Jesus in all places, California as part of the Jesus movement, and now he's working around the world to bring the love of Jesus Christ to people in need. Welcome to the 700 Club, George.
Thank you so much.
Welcome again, I should say. You were on with us
70s,
back in the 70s when you were first getting started.
Yeah.
How did you go from being a rock musician in communist Bulgaria to being an on-fire Christian? What was that? How did that work?
Well, the communists kind of allowed us to exist for a short while and to experiment, see what this new rock and roll thing is. Because me and three boys started the first rock band. But then eventually they realized that's a mistake. That's not a good influence in the youth. So they shut us down, practically in the middle of a concert, unplugged all our PSs. Okay, you'll go home. This is it. We had enough. So I was just frustrated with what am I going to do now? And a longing for freedom, a desire for freedom just gripped my heart and just wouldn't let go. So I did the unthinkable. I decided to get out and to escape. At the time, it was an iron curtain where you just had to break through. It's a legal thing, you know, dangerous thing. But somehow I made it through, me and the guitar player, and escaped. We were smuggled by the Polish black market and went to America, came to America for freedom. And immediately I headed for Hollywood because I wanted to be a rock and roll musician and pursue that. But after 1 year of being in America, I didn't feel much freer. I was disappointed, even in Hollywood there. It didn't even look good. It's like the Hollywood and Vine, the boulevards were filthy at night, puking in the streets from the winos, and just didn't look what I was kind of dreaming. And I couldn't go back to Bulgaria. And I made a mistake. I felt like, what did I do? I wanted to be free. I'm not even free here. So why am I not free? I don't know. But and right there, I met young people from the Jesus movement, and they were sharing about Jesus. And I didn't understand the English, and so I couldn't figure out what they were saying. They used food on me, so that was kind of helped to hang out a little bit. So through the food, I kept going for food. And one day, I says, you know what? I don't believe in nothing. I'm an atheist. I'm communist. I need to get out of here and just see what I'm going to do. And the day before I leave, I says, okay, let me ask you if there is a God. I know there isn't, but just ask. So I says, God, do you exist? And immediately a sense of His presence came around me, sensibly. It was so overwhelming. It's just supernaturally touched me, and I began to say, I want to know whoever you are. I don't know anything about you, but I want to know everything. And just He overwhelmed me and filled me with the Spirit, and it's just like a very supernatural salvation. I wasn't even seeking. He just went after me and filled me with His fire, love, and passion.
That's a great prayer. I encourage people to make that prayer. God, if you exist, show me.
Yeah.
Jesus, if you're real.
Yeah, that's as simple. It came to my mind. I said, repeat it. You know, it doesn't, but I did. The moment the breath came out of my mouth, I felt His presence, and it's by beginning with Jesus, and I got on fire ever since. I was like penned up animal, and when I came here, the Lord opened the gate, and I wanted all of Him. Like, I've never read the Bible all my life as a young person. You know, communists made sure we don't see it. So I saw it, and I began to read it from cover to cover. It took me a year, but I wanted to know it all. It's like, you know, all of a sudden, this happened.
You went back to Bulgaria once
the Iron Curtain fell.
Once it fell.
I never thought I would ever go back, but, you know, because communists established this forever, you know. But they fell overnight, and I was prepared, and the Lord says, it's ready now to go. Now you're going to go home. I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm coming. I don't know exactly when, but I'm coming very soon. And that winter, the communism fell. Christmas Day, boom, you know, and the door was open, so I went back, reunited with my family, and reunited with my Christian family. Gave my testimony for the first time in a Bulgarian underground church. Formerly, now it's open. And all my rock and roll friends came to see me. Many of them received the Lord. And the pastor says, bring Bibles. So that's what I did, and asked your Father, help us. And brought the first official shipment, 40,000 New Testaments.
In Bulgaria?
In Bulgaria, 1990, in May.
Wow.
celebration.
You're now doing a ministry where you target the poorest of the poor, and you like going to the trash dumps of the world,
Yes.
in order to find people that are trash pickers. Why do you do that? What's the motivation behind that?
It's actually my wife's passion. I love ministering to the poor no matter what they are. She particularly loves the worst of the worst. It's not just poor, it's a subhuman condition. There's actually communities that on the garbage dump. And it's perhaps the most hopeless kind of a situation. But we've seen God turn around individual lives from garbage dump, like in Nicaragua, Managua. We saw a man named Juan, completely hopeless. His house is on the very garbage dump. Smoke come through his house with children, and he looked so hopeless. But a year later, we led him to the Lord. But a year later, his face shined. Now we're helping him to get out, and just complete turnaround. So I've seen it. I've seen it possible.
You're getting ready to go into Asia. Where are you going to go?
Well, we will start with Manila, and we'll go to Vietnam, Cambodia, Bangkok, and India, and just move on from large city to large city.
And each one you're going to be ministering in the trash dumps.
Trash dumps and slums, yeah.
Yeah. So you're trying to bring the gospel to the poorest of the poor.
Yeah. Jesus says, "My God, is lofty one. He came down." That's so halal. He sang Psalm 113 down to the garbage dump to lift up people from the garbage dump. And the night he was betrayed, of course, he was thrown outside the city. He was crucified. And so
he takes you off the ash heap and makes you a prince.
A prince. That's the amazing story.
All right, if you're interested